Well, looks like we got a terrible show tonight on AEW Dynamite. Welcome to my edition of welcome to my pod, video. Name my topic tonight is called Painful, Pathetic, and Poor in Philadelphia. It's my topic tonight. You know what? Get this. What I just heard from all of you. It looks to me that WWE is in big trouble. Very big trouble. Vince McMahon sanctioned for sanction. Vince McMahon WWE is sanctioned for leaking signal messages. Yeah, it says this. Vince McMahon and WWE senior leaders acted recklessly in allowing signal messages pertaining to wrestlers' Empire merger with USC to be deleted. Delaware judge will rule Wednesday. Sanctions issued by the Delaware Chancery Court will make it harder for World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated co-founder and its directors' officers to defend themselves in an upcoming trial. Claims that McMahon manipulated the merger process to seek control of the company, rejecting high favors in deal with the longtime friend of Denver Group Holdings Incorporated. CEO Ari Emanuel will set the case. CEO Ari Emanuel. The case is set to go to trial on June 8th of this year. The court will presume the truth of a limited number of facts relating to the conduct and motivations of two defendants controlling the stockholder and the senior officer who openly encouraged signal use. Vice Chair J. Travis Laster said in the 40-page opinion referring to McMahon and President Nick Khan advocating the standard of proof overcoming the presumed facts levels playing field, forcing the defendants to make a convincing case for their position, Laster said. Shareholders challenged the fairness of two 21.4 billion merger, the mixed martial arts giant fighting championship. The 2023 merger followed McMahon's return to WWE in the wake of allegations that McMahon sexually harassed and abused female subordinates for decades. McMahon and WWE leaders instructed twice by their own resistant general counsel to preserve all documents and electronic stored information, including text and other system messages. June 22nd, after the misconduct allegations became public, in January 2020, after the WWE began contracting bidders, such as routine and WWE's leadership had duty to preserve evidence relating to Vince's return and a potential sale, because they could reasonably have expected litigation to be filed, Laster said, but the wrestling promoter, Khan, and others disregarded those instructions. Facts now presumed. I mean, WWE's doomed. All I can say, I'm not going to read the rest of it. Don't say that they're in trouble. WWE is really going to be finished. Let's get on with tonight's terrible show. And Loser Kaiser is finished. By the way, it's a sexual little battery case. Start off with Kevin Knight comes out and said comes out and he says they mask why he did what he did, why he turned on Darby Allin. He said you're not to let it down, not to let the people know it, and he blew it. Just like the Sixers didn't and Knicks did, he let them all down. He decided he was going to trust the process more. He decided he was going to take matters in his own hands, and did what he had to do. He asked who was the last person who humbled more on Jacques Freeman. It was him. He says he should have been in that main event. Instead, he was watching from the bench. Knight says he took it upon himself because he was not there to take a part. He says he's there to take over the company. He says he trusts Darby. When he started the company, Darby told him not to waste any time. Speedball Mike Bailey's music hits and out he comes to the ring. Bailey says he hears what Kevin's saying. He knows him. He knows how ambitious he is. That he is the best and worst quality. The reason they work so well as a double team is because they want both want to be the best. But Kevin is not patient. He makes mistakes, and he did what he did to Darby was a mistake. Bailey says they can fix it if he apologizes and own to what he did. They can make things right. Bailey extends his handshake. Kevin shakes his hand and shows him. But Kevin ducks him clothesline, gets back up and slams him. Kevin's music walks to the back. All I can say is this: Kevin Knight, you're gonna pay. Wait until Darby Allin gets a hold of your ass. Piece of shit. Next one, we're going to see a match, Jericho versus Ricochet. A few minutes later, Jericho goes with a Death Valley driver onto the ring apron. Jericho and Ricochet get back in the ring. Jericho with a shoulder tackle. Jericho gets on the ring apron and he lands on a double axe handle. Jericho with a bulldog, he lands on a springboard back elbow. Jericho with a brainbuster, he goes for a cover, but Ricochet kicks out. Jericho goes for a spinning back elbow, but Ricochet rolls out of the ring apron. Jericho grabs him, but Ricochet throws Jericho outside the ring. Jericho grabs him, but Ricochet throws Jericho outside the ring. Jericho gets on the ring apron, and Ricochet with a drop kick. Ricochet with a suicide dive. Jericho gets back in the ring, and Ricochet with a Phoenix splash. He goes for a cover. Jericho kicks out. Ricochet runs toward Jericho, but Ricochet gets him in the walls of Jericho. Ricochet tries to make it to the ropes, but Jericho with right hands onto Jericho. Jericho lets go. Jericho goes for the right hand onto Ricochet, but Ricochet moves out of the way. Jericho stops in front of the referee, but it doesn't hit Edwards. Ricochet with a low blow, and the referee doesn't see it. Ricochet with a Rico salt goes for the cover. Jericho kicks out. Ricochet climbs to the top rope and goes for a 630 splash, but Jericho moves out of the way. Jericho with a cold breaker, he goes for a cover, but Ricochet kicks out. Jericho with a Judas effect and a lion salt, he goes for a cover and gets the pin. Winner, Jericho. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Yeah, and I'm back there. Yeah, the winner is Chris Jericho. Ciampa from behind hits Jericho, Jericho right hand. He lowers his knee pad. Ciampa with right in the knee to the face. El Diablo is backstage. He can focus on winning the world title and beating the stupid moron Jack Freeman. Andrade asks MJF if he thinks that he is better than the Latino man. And we see his next match: Orange Cassidy versus Rush versus Brian Cage versus Leo Rush. A few minutes later, Leo with a stunner, Cassidy with an elbow onto Cage. He goes for a cover, but Cage kicks out. Cassidy gets on the ring apron, but Cage with a kick to the side of the head. Cage suplexes Cassidy, but from the ring apron into the ring. He goes for cover, but Leo breaks it up. Cage with a body slam. He goes for cover, but Leo breaks it up. Leo to the ropes, but Cage lifts him up. He lands on a Falcon Arrow. He goes for cover, but Leo kicks out. Cassidy gets on the top rope and jumps, but Cage catches him. He lifts Cassidy, but Cassidy with a stunner. Cassidy with a tornado DDT goes for cover, but Cage kicks out. Cage to the outside of the ring, and Cassidy with suicide dive DDT. Out come Rocky Romero and Lance Archer. Cassidy with an orange punch from both men. Out come Jake Doyle. Archer grabs Cassidy and brings him back to the back. Back in the ring, Leo with a stunner and a spear. He goes for cover, but Rush kicks out. Leo climbs to the top rope and jumps, but Rush moves out of the way. Rush for the right hand. Leo falls to the outside of the ring, and Rush throws him into the barricade. Rush grabs a cable wire and begins to choke Leo with it. Leo into the barricade, back in the ring. Leo with a running drop kick. He goes for cover and gets the pin. The winner is Leo Rush. Nate Paquette is backstage with Warren Jackass Freeman. In comes Kevin Knight. Warren Jackass Freeman tells Kevin Knight that him is going out to celebrate. Warren Jackass Freeman makes him proud. Kevin tells him he went out because Darby messed up and will go after Warren Jackass Freeman's title belt. Warren Jackass Freeman walks away, and in comes Kyle Fletcher with a downcast. He tells Knight he knows where to find them. And here comes Warren Jackass Freeman. His music hits, and he comes out running his mouth and all that shit. And Mark Briscoe's hit music hits. Out he comes in the ring. Mark Briscoe, right? He thinks about Martin. He says Martin thinks everything deserves to be his and all that stuff, and he's right. He's every time you better bitch or man up. Don't worry. We see everyone else. Rush comes out here. Don't worry, MJF's gonna get his. Then we see the next one on the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Claudio Castagnoli, some of you know, is Cesaro from WWE versus Brody King. Back from commercial, Claudio with right hands, and he runs towards King with a big boot. King with right hands, Claudio with a right hand, King with a right hand, and King with a cannonball. Claudio rolls to the outside of the ring. King with a goes for a suicide dive, but Claudio with a right hand. Claudio gets back in the ring. Claudio to the ropes, but the King with a right hand. King lifts Claudio, but Claudio Claudio lands on his feet. Claudio to the ropes and goes to the springboard with a right hand, but King with a right hand. King to the ropes, and Claudio with an uppercut, but King with a clothesline. King goes to cover and gets the pin. Winner, Brody King. Back from commercial, Colt's music hits, and out he comes to ring. Christian Cage music hits, and out he comes. Christian tells the fans to sit down and shut their mouths, but Colt asks him what is he doing. He asks them that if they heard them. Christian asks what he said. What was so bad. It's not like he banged their mothers. He says maybe he did, but he says FTR is sitting home wondering what it is he is going to say. He says FTR without a doubt they are the toughest, the best tag team they have ever shared the ring with. He brought out the best of them. They are what they say they are. They are the top guys. They aren't just the tippy top. Cope says FTR decided to have an I Quit match against the two guys who are told they will never wrestle again. The two guys who are retired got their careers back. And Christian Cage comes out here acting like an idiot. Dave Finlay and Connors come out, hits him from behind. Christian falls to the outside of the ring, and he deserved it. We cut back to the ringside. Prince Nana swears shooting a little backstage segment. Then TJ, TJ comes out here. TJ versus Everett and Alley Catch. And due to some technical issues, the technical issues here, we don't have the details of various sort of smash. It looks like TJ is picking up the win. And TJ defeated Everett and Alley Catch. It was like a little handicap match here. Owen Hart Foundation tournament match: Mark Davis versus Jack Perry. Owen Hart tournament Foundation tournament match: Mike Davis versus Jack Perry. Perry's in the ring. Mike lifts from behind Mike with a senton. He goes for a cover, but Perry kicks out. He grabs Perry, but Perry with a right hand, Perry with a drop kick, and Mike rolls to the outside of the ring. Perry with a suicide dive. A few minutes later, back from commercial, Perry with a suplex off the second rope. Perry with grabs Mark, but Mark with his kick to the side of the head. Perry with a super kick. Perry with a power driver. He goes for a cover, but Mark kicks out. Perry with a snap trap, but Mark makes it to the ropes. Perry goes for a running knee. With Mark with a right hand, Mark to the ropes, and he lands some clothesline. Mark goes for cover, but Perry kicks out. Mark grabs Perry, but Perry with right hands. Mark goes to the second rope, but Perry with a drop kick. Perry climbs to the top rope, but Perry trips. But with Mike with his spinning power driver, goes for the second rope, goes for cover, and gets the pin. Winner is Mark Davis. Now on Collision. Collision Shogun with Kyle Fletcher. Don Callis are in the ring with Renee Paquette. Fletcher says first things first. He asks Don to give him some sugar. Fletcher says we cannot walk the talk. Ken first says not we can talk about the elephant in the room. How can he come back from injury in record time? breaking his leg and tearing his meniscus. Fletcher says he is the picture-perfect performer. He is happy to announce that he is 100% cleared for in-ring competition. He says he wanted to be the man. He cut away from the dead weight from the Don Calstrom. He says he's been trying to hold the family together for a year, but Kanazuki Takashita was trying to drive a wedge. Fletcher says that Takashita would never care about the family or him. Fletcher says he says they can never have the whole world, but this is never going to happen. Takashita is a selfish prick. This brings out Takashita along with the conglomeration. They all make their way in the ring. Fletcher and Cal scatter and leave the ring. Takashi has a mic in here. He starts off in Japanese. Japanese. He says he international title back. He starts fans trying. You deserve it. Takashi tells Fletcher he wants him. Go backstage with Will Ospreay outstressing Mark Davis, who will win next week on Dynamite. Music of Will Ospreay hits and he makes his way to the ring. The music of Death Riders is up next. Jon Moxley and Pac make their way to the ring, and the rest of the group. Trios match: Will Ospreay, Death Riders versus Rascals. Zachary Went, Myron Reed, and Desmond Xavier. The bell rings are underway. Jon Moxley and Reed are on the floor. Ospreay and is taken down by Dez. Dez covers Ospreay for only a 2 count. And a few minutes later in the match, Wentz hits Ospreay with running knee. Dez is tagged in, and he and Wentz are taken down by Ospreay. Pac is tagged in. Reed is tagged in. Pac kicks Reed and then takes him down with a big lariat. Pac connects on Wentz with a big boot and releases a German suplex. He takes down with a belly and covers him for only a 2 count. Mox is tagged in. He hits Reed in the corner. Reed is now triple teamed with Death Riders as Wentz and Dez are down. Pac and Ospreay leave the ropes and taking Dez and Wentz. Mox power drives Reed and covers him for only a 2 count. Mox picks him up, but Reed rolls him over rolls him over from almost a pin. Mox takes down Reed with a big lariat. Mox tags in Ospreay, who stomps him out of the arm of Reed. Pac brings down Dez with Brutalizer. We have a submission on holds on the Rascals who submit. Okay, now it's 12 a.m. right now. Submit, yeah, it's 12 a.m. right now. Yeah, Will Ospreay and Death Riders Pac and John Moxley winners. We go backstage with Ops, and Samoa Joe has his best week of the group. Joe says Hollywood's calling and is be stepping away for a few months. Cut to a video package highlighting the tension between Hiroshi and Chris Stanley, and things come to a boiling point in Double or Nothing. It leads to tonight's Lights Out Philly street fights. We head backstage where Divine Dominion brag about something taking out 30 seconds before we find out what they mean. TJ laid out to help out upon a collision. We head to ringside. El Diallo makes his way out of the ring. We hear about the opening challenge he put out. Ace Austin answering to call out tonight. El Diallo enters the ring, and out comes Ace Austin with a big bang gang to sing him out. Ace enters the ring to get this match underway. Big Bang Gang sing him out, enters the ring as we get this match underway. Andrea versus Ace Austin. The two exchange offense until Andrade takes Ace to mat, keeping him trapped down to the pin attempt in a near fall. Ace starts to fight back now, and looks like an LDR sending him to the ropes. Only for LDR to stop the momentum and between kill posts, momentum communication, miscommunication at the HBO Max feed as the Andrade starts to get back in the ring before it cuts to an ad break. Back from break, Andrade brings Austin to the outside. Austin asks him for posing with a lady in front of a selfie. She hopes the guardrail in the process is carried back by El Diablo before he sends Ace back in the ring. But Austin turns around, sending Andrade to the corner. Instead, he hoists El Diablo up on his shoulders, doing a squat before sending him to the corner. He props up Andrade to the turnbuckle before sending him back to the ring hard with a dead fire driver for 2. LDL turns things around, and as he sends Ace in the corner, on for Austin to evade a corner attack. And at the second to last, Austin sends Andrade up to the opposite corner and runs back into the elbow strike that LDL follows up with a DM for the win. Winner via pin Andrade El Diablo. Andrade celebrates his commentary episode for final match of the night. Unsanctioned lights out Philly street fight between Chris Stanley and Hikaru Shida. And go to commercial break. Come back to ringside as Justin Roberts explains that the lights will go out and indicate the end of the sanctioned portion between the two ahead of our main event. Lights out Philly street fight. Lights go out and out they come back, and Chris Stanley makes her way out next to Hikaru Shida as we get the street fight underway. It likes how Street Fighter Chris Stanley versus Hiro Shida. Stack charges as she knocking away the candlestick as brought to the ring. He turns around for some minor punches before leaving the ring. Only be blindsided, but Chris sets up Surfer against the ring post a chop. She heads back to the ring as Stack grabs a chair from underneath the ring. She throws it around the ring, and this allows Sheeta to grab it and take Stack out with it before setting up the top turnbuckle. She brings Stack to her feet, but Chris reverses it and sends her into the hair instead. She sends Sheeta to the opposite side, but Hikaru Shida fights back, grabbing the candlestick and lands some shots and forcing her to the outside. Back from break, both men have made it back into the ring as Shida lands on a suplex. It's on Statlander. Both women slowly get to their feet and before trading strikes, but Crestline winning out as she sends Shida to the canvas. Yep, right to the canvas. Right into the canvas. Right. Back from break, both men bang it back into the ring as she lands on a superplex on Statlander. Both women slowly get to their feet before trading strikes. With Chris running out as she sends Sheeta to the canvas, she sends to turnbuckle for a moonsault, but Sheeta rolls out of the way, getting a chop on Statlander for a 2 count. They trade strikes in the cover. Strikes again. And this time she wins out with Falcon Arrow in the cover, but Chris kicks out, landing to get it to her feet. She picks up a chair and launches it at the face of Sheeta, who rolls out of the ring. Stat leaves the ring on the outside, setting up a turnbuckle as we see Sheeta setting up a stack of chairs. Top chair falls as Stat walks around the ring, but she is still able to land on a chop Toho, sending her onto the standing chairs. She sets up some more chairs up, but Stat is on the back of her. On her feet and horse sheet up on the Death Rider driver on the chairs. She is trying to recover as Stat reaches under the ring for a weapon, pulling out the bundle of tubes. She begs her for feet of Stat. Decides to set the tubes down while she the blind inside her. She sends back into the ring and grabs the light tubes before cracking it on the back of Statlander. She follows up with a Falcon Arrow, but it's only good for a 2 count. Stat kicks out. She grabs a kendo stick for some more shots, but Stat is back up and she brings the fight to the apron. She pulls the stick away from She before turning her over for a jumping Night Fever Tombstone off the apron, driving She through the table on the outside, bringing She back into the ring as Harley Cameron comes down, bringing into another kendo stick, offering her to her friend to finish thing. And she goes as Chris lands another kendo stick shot, followed by another more Night Fever for a win. Statlander for the win. Winner by pinfall, Chris Statlander. Harley keep steps up to ring and celebrate with Chris, and they head up to the ramp and counter. Terry runs down for car for Saturday's collision for next week's Dynamite. For this 3 hour special comes to a close. Yeah, bad show last night in Philly. Terrible show tonight. Terrible show last night. I know it's time. Okay, now it's time for some wrestling history and birthdays. Yesterday was a happy 71st birthday to WWE Hall of Famer Eric Bischoff. Yesterday was a would have been a happy yesterday would have been a happy 96th birthday to would have been a happy 96th birthday to Jacques Rougeau Sr. He's the father of WWE of the Mountie. He's the father of the Mountie, Jacques Rougeau Jr. And Todd Bridges, some of you know from the TV show Different Strokes, he turned 61 yesterday. And a woman named Delilah Doom, her real name is Sarah Jean Graves. She turned 38, I believe, 38. And Randy Orton's cousin or Barrio. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, that's. Or sorry, that's not. Oh wait, it's not his birthday yesterday, so. Yesterday was a 20th anniversary death of Bull Ramos, who died of a shoulder infection. He died of Mexican wrestling. He died on May 27th, 2006. He was born on August 3rd, 1937. Kelly Kiniski, Canadian wrestler, he turned 60. 66 yesterday. Yes, say, let's see what else. Yesterday. Let's see what else. Yesterday. Well, sources say okay on WCW World. Some sources say it was wait hold on wait. Sorry, May 27th. On May 26th. On May 26th. Forgot to mention May 26th. Right quick. May 26th. Right quick. Got a primetime wrestling hosted by Bobby Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Brain Heenan, King Kong Bundy with Bobby Brain Heenan defeated Tony Atlas, Lane Upon defeated Tiger Chun Lee, Bret the Hitman Hart defeated Special Larry Jones. Jim Rosella fought Jim the Ember Neidhart to a time limit draw. Danny Spivey defeated Paul Christie. Hercules Haynes with Freddie Blassie, classic Freddie Blassie defeated Siffy Yaffe. This was like a house shows from house shows. Again, a little pay-per-view called In Your House Beware. That dog took place. It was scheduled to took place because it took place in North Charleston Coliseum in North Charleston, California. Because due to before the pay-per-view era live pay-per-view event in WWE Tag Team Championship between challengers Smoking Guns, Bart Gunn, and Billy. The champions, the Godwins, was broadcast in free-for-all on the preview channel. Godwins were accompanied by Hillbilly Jim and Sonny. Several minutes into the match, Sonny appeared on an apron and approached Billy Gunn. Oh, by the way, got a little birthdays for all of you for May 26th. Ashley Massaro, the late Ashley Massaro, would have been 47. And Natalia, she turned Canadian wrestler Natalia Neidhart, she turned 57. Pat Kenny turns 58. Yeah, we got about the birthdays right there. Let's go back to May 26th. As I was saying, In Your House, Beware a Dog took place at the North Charleston Coliseum, North Carolina. I know a friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers this. Before the event live on pay-per-view, there was a free-for-all. Smoking Guns, Bart Gunn, and Billy Gunn, the reigning tag team champions, against the Godwins, Phineas and Henry. With the Godwins are accompanied by Hillbilly Jim and Sonny, and several in the match. Sonny appeared on the ring apron and approached Billy Gunn and Phineas, while Phineas and Bart wrestled inside the ring. Billy grabbed Sonny and kissed her, causing Phineas to be distracted, while Bart performed a German suplex and made the pinfall to win the WWE Tag Team Championship. In the first match to ever live on pay-per-view was a standard match between Wideman Mark Merrill with Sable and Triple H. Triple H attempted to perform his finishing move, the pedigree, while Merrill countered, grabbing Triple H's legs from under him and formed a slingshot catapult, sending Hemsley headfirst into the top ring post. Merrill knocked out Hemsley for a pinfall. And there was a scheduled match for the Caribbean scheduled match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Savio Vega, but there was never seen on television due to a severe thunderstorm. But what happened was Stone Cold Steve what happened was main event well, what happened was this on that night was a Canadian strap match from Stone Cold. What happened was there was a satellite WWE satellite trucks, and the trucks went out, and the pay-per-view feed was cut out due to a severe thunderstorm. This match and along the other scheduled matches still were placed. The light industry was not broadcast on pay-per-view. The power feed was stored for many areas, and just before the ring entrance for the main event, for some areas feed was never restored for those areas. Triple H against Hemsley turned to be the first and final pay-per-view match to feed. And the main event of the match night featured WWE featured Triple H, featured the reigning WWE champion Shawn Michaels defending against the British Bulldog, and with Bulldog's wife Diana Hart Smith. Real life wife Diana Hart Smith accompanied him by ringside, and this was never shown on television. Shawn Michaels, just before the match being scripted, Michaels was served with a summons from Bulldog storyline attorney Clarence Mason stated that if Michaels was a defendant in charge of attempted alienation of affection due to the allegation of him making advances to Bulldog's wife, storyline real life Diana Hart Smith. Yeah, because Bret Hart's sister, Bret and Owen's sister, and the father and the daughter of late Stu Hart and Helen, therefore causing strain in their marriage. The timing of the subpoena of Bulldog's camp was an attempt to throw Michaels off his game, giving Bulldog a better chance of winning the championship. During the match was part of the script, Bulldog instantly ran into referee Earl Hebner, knocking him out of a period of time, replacing for Mike Chioda, continued the match. Shawn Michaels performed a German suplex into pinfall combination on Bulldog, but this time the referee regained senses, and Bulldog referees counted pinfall both combination Bulldog. By this time the referee regained senses. Both referees counted both pinfall both wrestlers had their shoulders on the mat. Chioda was counted Michaels' shoulders down. Referee Earl Hebner counted Bulldog's down due to both wrestlers being pulled simultaneously. The match was ruled a draw, and Shawn Michaels retained the WWE title. The WWE Network version of the event just match over the opening match after the second part of the show streams. None of the matches took place are scheduled. Are included. Yeah, they canceled. This was short. Yeah, because of the storm, the technical issues on that night. Then on Heat, Charlie Haas defeated on May 26, 2006. Charlie Haas defeated Rob Conner. Victoria defeated Melissa Anderson. Eugene defeated Jobber Devon Nicholson. And Carlito defeated Lance Cade. As some of you know, is cheerleading Melissa and Lisa Flash and Risha Saeed. Let's see what else here I see. Let's see. Trying to see what else. Let's see. Trying to see what else. Oh, SmackDown. SmackDown. Bobby Lashley defeated JBL to win the WWE United States Championship. Tatanka defeated Simon Dean. Chris Benoit versus Mark Henry in a no contest. Ryan Kendrick and Paul London defeated Nunzio Vito. Big Fit Finlay defeated Paul Butcher. Rey Mysterio with Chavo defeated JBL, retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. And we'll see these two hip hoppers, Method Man, like Method Man, Redman here, make a little rapping performance, and then we see this King and Queen of the Ring speech by yeah, Ring Regal introduces King Booker T, making him King Booker, and Sharmell Queen Sharmell. Let's see what else. Alberto Del Rio defeated Zack Ryder by submission in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. Rusev Alon defeated Kalisto, and Smith retained the U.S. title. Natalia defeated Dana Brooke by DQ as Breezango, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze defeated Golden Truth. Miz with Maurice defeated Cesaro to retain the Intercontinental title. Let's see. Let's see what else now. May 27th, May 27th, May 27th. Yeah, I got the history and birthdays right here. I got the little his birthdays. Okay, 2006 we lost a little celebrity. His name is Paul Gleason. Some of you might recognize from the movie from the Breakfast Club, The Principal Vernon. The movie's appeared in Die Hard with Bruce Willis, and he was a really good actor. He died of like a some sort of cancer at the age of 67 yesterday. That was May 27th, 2006. And let's see what else. All movies, pop culture for movies, sports, right away. X-Men 2: The Last Stand was released in theaters. Third installment of the X-Men series. Let's see. What else? Bubba Ray. Okay. Boston Celtics beat the Houston Rockets 112 to 100. The game one in the 1986 NBA Finals. Game one. 112 to 100 in Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets. Yeah, and see what else. May 27th. WCW Prime, May 27th, 1996. Yeah, see, Steve Collins. Oh wait, hold on a second. See,
He got him down. He's ragtagging him too. He's talking to him.
oh, Lifeguard Steve Collins defeated Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, and Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker comes a sore loser. And now on the Monday Night Wars, we start out with WWE Monday Nitro, start out with WWE Monday Night Raw on US Network. Vince McMahon announces that the conclusion of the Indian House Wear Dog will continue. Indian House Wear Dog will continue due to the power outage. The Ultimate Warrior fought the King of the Ring qualifying match. The Ultimate Warrior fought Intercontinental Champion Goldust to a double countout in a non-title match where Goldust tried to leave ringside and was attacked by Warrior. Then until Ahmed Johnson pulled him back in the ring. Ahmed Johnson pulled Goldust back in the ring, and it came with double countout. And after the bout, Jerry Lawler attempted to retrieve the director's chair from Lynn, but the Warrior grabbed him instead and destroying it in the ring. Then WWE Tag Team with Smoking Guns with Sonny defeated Skip and Zip in a non-title match, winning the momentum of a flying body press by Skip, but Bart Gunn put the top for the win. Hillbilly Jim good commentary for the bout and ushered the Godwins, who came to ringside to move away from the bout backstage. Then King win qualifying match Vader with Jim Cornette with Ahmed Johnson after Owen Hart, who did guest commentary for the match, came off the top rope with double axe handle using his arm cast. Ahmed Johnson covered Vader for the win spine buster. And then Vader won. Then Jim Cornette was chased backstage, and Ahmed Johnson afraid for a match returned late in the contest at restriction allowed Hart to interfere. After match, Ahmed was, I know a friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers this. This is when the Cumberland County Memorial Auditorium in Fayetteville, North Carolina. After the match, Ahmed was taken backstage on a stretcher where he was eventually revived by Goldust using mouth to mouth. That was disgusting. An old friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers that. Moments later in the range, Ahmed Johnson chased Goldust with the crowd looking for him. This was Ahmed's first TV loss. The feature also highlights from the blackout portion of the previous night's pay-per-view, which were not televised, featured Ted DiBiase challenging Cyber Vegas to face Stone Cold Steve Austin rematch for the Caribbean Strap match with Ted DiBiase's WWE career at stake. Then on WCW Nitro, where it all started, where we had the return of Scott Hall. No friend of mine from Pittsburgh remember this epic night on Monday Night Raw. Where it all started. Scott Hall returned to WCW after leaving the WWE, where he was Razor Ramon. He said, telling the fans, I know a friend of mine in Pittsburgh remember this. He said, late Scott Hall, he says, "Hey y'all, WCW where the big boys play, right? You want a war? You got a war." This episode saw the return of Scott Hall's return to WCW. He appeared out of the audience looking for Billionaire Terror, the Nacho Man, and Scheme Jing. They're referring to WWE. He referring to where his left from the WWE doing the mockery of WCW, the company that made them start. The Nacho Man and Scheme Jing. Mean Gene was a former WWE employee. Doing this backstage interview, and Macho Man was a former WWE superstar. And Billionaire Ted, referring to Ted Turner, late Ted Turner, who lost this year. I know a friend of mine in Pittsburgh remembers that this is how it all started, the birth of the NWO. And when Scott Hall said, "You want a war? You got a war." I know he's watching this right now. This takes place in Macon Coliseum, Macon, Georgia. Four Horsemen, and you see matches Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, Miss Elizabeth, and oh woman, won't you marry me now? Late Nancy Benoit defeats American males Marcus Alexander Barrow and Scotty Riggs. Steve Dahl versus the Mauler with Colonel Robert Parker in no contest. DDP with Sergeant Craig Pitt defeated Sergeant Craig Pittman with Teddy Long. Johnny with Jimmy Hart defeated the Shot to retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Lex Luger defeated Max to retain the WCW World TV Championship. Bobby Walker defeated Brad Armstrong. Elite Lord Steve Ring with Jeeves defeated Alex Wright. Scott Steiner versus Sting, and in a double DQ. And I'll see if they see what else see anything else. See a couple of movies released in theaters May 26, 2016. Okay, X-Men Apocalypse was released in theaters. This was the 9th installment of X-Men series. Olivia Munn, Nicholas Hoult, Jennifer Lawrence, James McAvoy. Love X-Men. Rose Byrne. And Alice Looking Through the Grass, sequel to Alice in Wonderland, starring 2010's Alice in Wonderland, starring Anne Hathaway, Johnny Depp, Mia Wasikowska, and late Alan Rickman. Late Alan Rickman's final role after his death. Michael Sheen. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. What I'll do for my show, my review, The Godfather Soldier Slimming. As late Chad Henshaw said, dress up with Chuck Turkey, dance like Lionel Richie, dance like James Brown. Like again, the hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Furniture A. Murphy doing impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. Back in the 80s, I never grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, but I saw real ones old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. So I hope I have a good night. Have a good morning, midnight. And hope you have a good morning. And I'm out of here. Peace.